Hey guys, how's it going out there? Well, obviously I am standing right now because pretty much almost in every single Sonic movie update video, I've been doing them to where I was sitting down on a chair. But I obviously have to do it right now standing up because we need to get that Sonic poster in there. I'm still waiting for my new poster to come in. I actually contacted the seller and he said he's gonna send me another poster. So basically this is an update video, but not really an update video, but I'm still gonna keep it as an update video kind of range right now. Mainly just because I want to talk about what's going to happen in the future and everything. So yeah, so I thought this would be a fun video because a lot of people have been coming up to me and they've been asking me about this one question at my personal job and just in my personal life in general. So I figured I would actually stand here right now and actually make a video about it because one day in the future, if it actually does happen to where they actually will make it, then I can watch this video and do a reaction video of me watching this video right now and then maybe like see if my predictions were right and all that stuff. So I figured I would throw my ideas and stuff out there. This will be a little short video to do, so it's not going to be like a long video because like I said, it's not an actual update video. So I'll keep this video short and brief. So I've been watching a lot of Sonic cartoons, I've been reading a lot of my Sonic comic books, just to kind of like get familiar for this particular video. So then obviously we're going to be talking about a sequel to Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. What if they actually do make a second movie? Jim Carrey, this actually all happened for me to make this video because of Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey has actually been hinting at every single one of his interviews that he's been hinting that if they make a sequel to Sonic the Hedgehog, he wouldn't mind coming back playing as Dr. Robotnik again in a sequel. That is really awesome to actually hear, especially for my standards, because that means that not only that Jim Carrey had so much fun doing, but that even means as well that maybe the Sonic movie is really good. As of right now, as I'm filming this right now, there hasn't been any like reviews or reviews or whatever about the Sonic movie or even ratings of the Sonic movie yet. As I'm filming right now, I am filming this video on February 3rd, so this video will be coming out sometime on February 7th or the 8th. So that means we're in a few days remaining of Sonic the Hedgehog coming out sometime next week on the 14th. So excited. But anyways, enough talking, enough distracting you guys. Let's dive in. So basically, Jim Carrey is well known that he doesn't really like doing sequels to certain of his movies. But he actually pointed out or hinted in a couple of his interviews so far, when they're doing interviews for Sonic the Hedgehog, that he wouldn't mind coming back for a sequel. So that is really cool. So I actually do want to stand here and actually talk to you guys today about my thoughts about, or I want to throw my ideas out there about like my ideas about what we could see maybe in a second movie or something like that. I thought that this would be really interesting. Obviously, we already know that this is going to be an origin story. This first Sonic the Hedgehog movie is going to be an origin story. So this is really cool and really awesome because like I said, we have never seen this in a Sonic movie before. I mean, like, we've never seen this in a Sonic cartoon, comic books, or even games related. So this is going to be the very first time that we're actually going to be seeing an origin story of the Sonic universe and all that stuff. So I think that's going to be really cool. So obviously in the very first trailer that we had with the bad Sonic design, at the very end of the trailer, we saw Robotnik actually getting like with no hair and plus with that funky mustache that he always has, that iconic mustache. So obviously when they showed that, we all thought that maybe that would kind of be like, oh, like when it gets closer to the very end of the movie and all that stuff. But no, this movie is going to be showing us a little bit more about him getting more possessive about capturing Sonic, but also to, it's probably, that part is probably going to be for the very end, and that's probably going to leave it off into a cliffhanger for a sequel for the second movie. So now I'm actually going to point out that also even at the end of that trailer as well, Dr. Robotnik looks like he's in Sonic's universe. So obviously, maybe in the second movie, this is not going to take place like in our universe or whatever. It probably might be in Sonic's world and in Sonic's universe and all that stuff. That would probably be where the sequel of the movie will take place. And actually, to be honest, it could be done. I was actually kind of hesitating at first, thinking that it might not be done. But it can be done as well, because some other films, some other movies have done it already, to where actors have acted on sets and they animated it with green screens and all kinds of special effects to where it looks like they're actually there. So, for instance, The Adventures of Tintin, for an example. There were these actors that were dressed up in these black jumpsuits with white cotton balls all over and with a camera strapped right here to their face so they can get their facial expressions and their mouths moving. And Steven Spielberg himself, he had this this little tablet thing so he could see the actual cartoon characters or the animated characters and the animated locations on that particular tablet. And like then when you looked up from the tablet, it was a set. So they built their own sets. So that animated movie was all done from sets in real life, and then it brought it into a feature film as an animated movie. So that is really cool. So like the water scenes were kind of like fake. They were just standing there and they were kind of like rocking. And that was really cool to actually learn. And Disney, I believe, has done it twice now. They've done it with The Jungle Book, to where the kid that played as Mowgli, he acted in front of a set, in front of green screens, blue screens, and they built their own sets. So it made it actually look like the kid was actually there in a jungle, just like running around with these animals and stuff. So that was really cool. And also, I believe they've also done it with The Lion King, where The Lion King, the live action one, the animals were all fake, obviously. And also, so those were all computer generated, and I'm pretty sure that even knowing that those were computer generated, the locations were also computer generated as well. So they didn't really go anywhere to those locations, took photos, or actually even filmed those shots to actually get those there at locations and put those animals on the screen. So anyways, where am I going with this? Well, as obviously, Jim Carrey can actually be in front of green screens, blue screens, and they can even build sets. So then he can actually just walk around and actually fight against the Sonic characters and stuff and still have fun with it. So they don't even need to go to locations or whatever and stuff like that. So I think in the second movie, there'll be more focusing on Sonic's universe than in our universe. And in the second movie, obviously from the first movie, we're introduced to Sonic and Dr. Robotnik. We got two Sonic characters that were introduced in the first Sonic movie and building up their story and making a first film about it. So now in the second film, I think maybe bring just a few more characters in the Sonic universe. Like I said, it's massive. You got so many characters that you can make a movie out of. So what kind of characters will we see? Obviously, I think they should bring Tails. Show us the relationship between Sonic and Tails, and like have them and bring his sidekick Tails in, and they can work together to defeat Dr. Robotnik and stuff. But here's the thing though, my first vision of the second movie, Dr. Robotnik probably might not even be the main focus, and he probably might not be the main villain. He will still be the villain, but I think he would be the supporting role for this next upcoming main villain that would be in this movie. And I think the villain in this movie, I actually came up with two villains, and that would be Shadow or Metal Sonic. Metal Sonic and Shadow, both of those characters have like, not really Metal Sonic, I'll take that back, but Shadow has a big, huge fan base. Like, everybody has been saying that they want to see Shadow in the second movie. Actually, it would be very interesting, because who would be the voice of Shadow? I was actually thinking about maybe the guy that does the voice over for My Hero Academia and Dragon Ball Z. I forgot his name, but the guy that does the voice of Vegeta for the English dubbing of Dragon Ball Z, and also from My Hero Academia, All Might from the English dubbing. I think maybe he would be really good as the voiceover for Shadow. I don't know, maybe that's just like my opinion. Like, I think that would be cool because he's done characters with that kind of voice and all that stuff, and he's got a really good voice that I think that maybe would be in the Shadow character. But Shadow's a really mysterious character. But anyways, Metal Sonic, difference from Shadow, he's more of a powerful villain character, and like that would be really cool to see. But I think that would work really well for this movie, or for the second movie, I mean, not for this movie. But I think what would be in the second movie, if you have Shadow or Metal Sonic as like the main villain, I think it would be best to make you doing it as a bounty hunter kind of movie. Like, maybe like have Shadow or Metal Sonic track down Sonic and all that stuff. That would be really cool. And like I said, Dr. Robotnik throughout this whole movie will be the supporting role. Like, you will see him, but he wouldn't really be in there a lot. I don't know, like that. They could still work around that. He could still be the main villain and still be as a supporting role at the exact same time. But I think like that would be the best way to do it, as kind of like a bounty hunter kind of movie. This is what I've been thinking about. How will Shadow be created? And not just that, how will Metal Sonic be created as well? Well, let's go into the first movie. In the trailer, Dr. Robotnik actually finds one of Sonic's quills. And the quill has like Sonic's DNA, and I guess like in the quill it has like his speed, the electricity and stuff. So Dr. Robotnik, as we see in one of the clips, he uses that quill to power up his little egg flying thing, or his like little gliding thing that he always sits in, and he uses that to actually power up all of his robots. So that's what happens in this movie. But now, what happens if they don't get rid of the quill? Like, what happens if he doesn't get rid of it, or the Sonic doesn't get rid of it, or if Dr. Robotnik still even has it? Well, Dr. Robotnik probably could use that to his advantage, to where he already knows probably like the DNA and stuff, because he's already used it to power up his robots and all that stuff. So he can use this to his advantage, and he's an intelligent, mad scientist, I guess so, I don't know. But I think that maybe he could use that quill to his advantage, to where he can use his knowledge to where he already knows it, so he can actually program Shadow, and also either program Metal Sonic to where they can be like, so then they can like have that's how they can have like Sonic's DNA, because Shadow is like the anti-version of Sonic, and Metal Sonic is just an evil robot version of Sonic. So either way, in that Sonic universe, they both have Sonic's DNA. So that's where maybe like the power of the quill or something maybe would be like the little thing that brings maybe Shadow to life in Metal Sonic. I don't know, who knows? That is just my theory. That was one of them. Here's another one. And then also here's another one though too, but I didn't really go fully into this one, because this one was my last idea, but I'm throwing it in there as a second one, because maybe like take like a brief pause or whatever about like other characters and stuff. Dr. Robotnik, in this theory, Dr. Robotnik can also be the main villain and the main focus, but maybe like also you can probably like introduce like the original Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon in the early 90s with the whole entire Freedom Fighters. It doesn't have to follow, because I've been saying it a lot in these update videos, that this Sonic movie really does feel like Sonic X. But here's another theory. They don't even need to follow Sonic X. They can with this movie, but in the next movie, if it focuses more in Sonic's universe, you can bring maybe the Freedom Fighters. Like, you can, I believe that's what they're called, the Freedom Fighters. But, like, what I mean is that, like, you can bring Tails, Sally, and that, like, walrus guy, I forgot his name, and Sonic. and that British character, I forgot his name. It's been a while since I've seen those cartoons since I was little, but you can bring those characters and do it somewhat of a freedom fighter kind of movie to maybe like where Sonic teams up with them. Maybe don't go into a full backstory. Maybe you can go into a backstory. Maybe they were all like freedom fighters and Sonic actually ends up meeting up with them. They don't have to be like one at a time and everything. Like they could have already been a team and Sonic just joins in. But Dr. Robotnik would be the main focus. Maybe having him be like maybe like a little bit more powerful or something like that. I don't know. Like that was something else that I had in mind. But like I said, I didn't really go fully into depth with this thought. The other one that I actually came up with was that maybe kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog 3 or something like that from the original games series. Maybe introduce Tails, and not just Tails, Knuckles. Maybe Knuckles could be like that anti-villain or whatever in the second movie. Where am I going with this? This is actually a little bit more thought planned out or something. Dr. Robotnik, it's all going to be still in Sonic's universe, but Dr. Robotnik could actually find Knuckles, because Knuckles is well known for guarding the Chaos Emeralds. So it's just kind of like he can be guarding the Chaos Emerald, Dr. Robotnik can find him and just be like, oh hey, like Sonic is like out, he's out to like steal the Chaos Emeralds. Maybe like he can like frame Sonic and stuff. Then Knuckles can go after Sonic or whatever, and Dr. Robotnik can actually try to take over the Chaos Emeralds and stuff and become a big and powerful villain, and then Sonic and Knuckles end up fighting against each other, and then all of a sudden teaming up that they're both good guys, and they can team up and go after and all three of them can go after Dr. Robotnik. So it'd be kind of like the Sonic Heroes game, kind of like, to where they can all, like Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails team up and go after Dr. Robotnik after he takes the Chaos Emeralds. The last thing I really want to talk about, it's not an actual theory or whatever about like what the story, what the plot, and everything else would be about. The one thing that everybody has been asking me when I'm not filming a video, so it's not like in the comments or anything in any of my videos, everybody has been coming up to me and they've been asking me about this one question, and that is Supersonic. Obviously, Supersonic is not going to be in this first Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Why? It's because this is more of an origin story. So it's a little too early for Sonic to know about Supersonic and like becoming like gold and have the red eyes and stuff. And it's really early for him to be introduced to Supersonic. Or maybe if the static, the electricity and stuff that we have seen in the trailer, in the newest trailer with the new design of Sonic, maybe that's like their own version of Supersonic. It's not that iconic Supersonic that we all remember, where he's all gold and, like I said, golden with red eyes. So that is just kind of like something that maybe they could do, but it would, like, they can do that. It's not like, oh no, like, shut that out, shut the Supersonic thing out. That could be done. Like, that could be done, but I would see it more in the second movie, like throughout maybe the second movie, maybe if they did like the whole entire Knuckles kind of idea or something. And because in order for Sonic to become Supersonic, he needs the Chaos Emeralds. So it's just kind of like, maybe if they did that, maybe they can bring it into the second film throughout. So it would probably be in the middle, close to the end. So somewhere in the between, before or somewhat of the third act of the second movie. But then also, if they make a trilogy, then they can maybe like introduce Supersonic in the third movie, or somewhat kind of like the same thing. Maybe have it to where Sonic transforms into Supersonic in the sequel, but then he's not like really fully into his power or knowing that power yet. So then they can have it to where then in the third movie, when Sonic turns into Supersonic, then it's just kind of like, oh, he's more in control with that power. That would be something interesting that maybe they can actually do. So there you go, you guys. That is the end of this video. Comment down below what your guys' theories are for the upcoming Sonic movies. Like, what are your guys' ideas or your guys' theories of, like, what happens if they make a sequel or something? I would like to hear your guys' thoughts. So you guys can feel free to comment those down below. And I'll see you guys next time, because the next Sonic video that we are going to be doing is finally the review. Have a good weekend. Peace.